Now inside of the classes folder, we're going to create a new file and call it validation.php. Inside of this file, we start with the opening PHP tag and a new validation class definition. So class validation. Inside of our validation class, we define a few properties. First one will be private underscore errors equals array. Then we have public underscore validation equals array. And what we're going to have here is we're going to list the form fields with the associated validation message. So we have class, first one, which will have please select the class. Then we have full name equals please provide your full name, and it obviously has to be enclosed within a single double quotes. Now full name, as you may remember, we actually used a different way of using it in the form. It's full and then capital N for name rather than underscore. Then we have telephone equals please provide your telephone number. Then we go for email, which is please provide your valid email address. And then we go for inquiry, which is simply going to be please provide your inquiry. I think I haven't misspelled anything, but well, if you see any spelling mistakes, please obviously correct them. Then we go for another one, which will be public this time, underscore expected equals array. Then we have public underscore required array again. Then we have public underscore special array. And lastly, we have public underscore out equals array as well. The first method inside of this class, I'm going to create a few new lines here, is going to be called add to errors. So public function add to errors, and we pass in the key equals null by default and index equals null by default as well. Index basically if we have a field name and want to use the same message as the other key, obviously inside of our validation array, then we can simply define the index here that we want the different message for this specific key to be used. Now we're going to start with isn't empty, if isn't empty key. Then what we do is index equals isn't empty index. Then we're going to use it, otherwise use key. If exclamation mark array key exists, and we're looking for key inside of the this underscore errors. Basically, if this key doesn't exist yet inside of the errors array, then this underscore errors, we put in a key, and we assign in the message, which will simply say span. We start with the span class, warning, closing span, and then we concatenate this with this underscore validation. We use index and then concatenate this with closing span tag, and obviously semicolon after this. So that's our add to errors method.